so that for the guys at half-time, and maybe one of these nights that we're going to have to grind it out. We certainly did that. We had a couple of late scares there in the game. I think we also had a couple of good chances that we might have, finished the game off. Diego had just the first one comes to mind is Diego's one that slips past the post. And obviously they had a couple of chances near the end, but they're a very resilient group, as we've seen. On Saturday there against Colorado, we came back, twice, tied it up late in the game, and I think they'll probably be disappointed they never tied it up. I'm certainly not.
John, obviously it worked very well. Did you make the decision to have Mike Chabala take the corner kick rather than Jack Juiceberry?
Who do you think would make the decision?
Okay. What made you decide to do it on that particular play?
I had a premonition. We should have picked a lottery numbers when you're under so much pressure.
Okay.
No, I just think that we just went. I watched their game. They gave up two goals from crosses against Colorado. I felt that looking at their match-up corners size-wise before the game, after they got their team sheet, I just felt it was, we had a slight advantage height-wise in the box, and just decided to, have two in-swinging corners coming into the 60 to see how they dealt with it. I said to one of my assistant coaches, Jim Rowlett, just on half-time, I think there's a goal in us. And Big Jim said, yeah, I think you might be right. And we eventually, because we were chapping on the door, knocking on the door, I just felt it was just a matter of time before we scored.
John, what are your thoughts on officially being tied for that 10th playoff spot now with 8 games to go?
Yeah, as I say, I think that we're formidable at home at times. We need to now, after the last 2 performances, get on the road tomorrow morning to DC and try and put in a good performance there so that we stay in this position. We'll get as good a chance as anybody, for them, 8th, 9th and 10th positions. I don't think we're just hanging on for the 10th spot. We've got a couple of good games here coming up at home, and if we perform the way we did in the first half tonight, I think we'll give teams a good run for their money.
What did you think? I mean, everybody knew how big this game was just in terms of the points and the teams right ahead of you in the standings, and then to come out and have a performance like that and actually deliver. Is this team, growing up right in front of us?
I don't know. When you work for Merritt Paulson, there's no small games in this stadium. They're all big games. They're all pressurised games. We play in front of one of the best environments in world football. I mean, it's plain and simple. So there's no. I mean, we got 10,000 for a reserve game. So there's not one time that we ever thought there's a small game here, there's an easy game. And MLS is a very, very tough league. It's a tough league to play in. It's a tough league to coach in. There's a lot of good coaches, a lot of good players. We're in a good position right now. We must maintain our form, maintain that little bit of luck that you need, and hopefully make a good playoff push. The fans deserve it.
So do you think that, particularly late in the second half, it looked like Chivas was really putting a lot more pressure on you? How did you feel? Did you feel more comfortable about this one, or did you kind of feel that maybe you guys are maybe hanging on a little bit, or taking a step forward in terms of closing things out?
We were hanging on. I mean, it was there for everybody to see. I see the same things most of the times that you see. Maybe I see a little bit more. Hopefully I see a little bit more than you do. But of course you've got to remember that team's been established now for a number of years. Everybody that comes here except for Vancouver has been established for a number of years. And they've got experienced MLS players. They're going to put you under pressure. They know what's required to be successful in this league. We're just learning what's required to be successful in this league. I think we've grown up quickly this year. I think we grew up after we had that slump, after winning our home games, and then we never won for a few games, and I think we came out the end of the tunnel, and I think we've grown up a little bit, and I'm very, very pleased with the guys that put in some effort for us.
Were the guys a little too far on their heels, though, maybe over the last few minutes, based on the situation, or did you feel comfortable?
No, because all they were trying to do was just lump the ball in the box. So naturally, you've got to drop and try and get numbers around the ball. If you don't win the first one, and if you do win the first one and it drops down in the middle of your box, you've got to have numbers around the ball. So it's just a natural. It's a natural habit for players. I told them at halftime, don't sit back. We can't sit back. We might need another goal to win the game. I thought at times we were unfortunate not to have got that. But we rode the luck a little bit, as you do to be a successful team. You've got to have a little bit of luck.
John, you have a 2-game winning streak going right now. How do you take this momentum now onto the road?
We might take you on the road and get you pancakes in the morning of the game.
Are you
So
doing
we win
it
every
today?
time we have pancakes.
Today again?
So, no, as I said, it's another difficult place to go to. You know, a club with a lot of tradition. The manager, their head coach, has done a good job this season. They've made a couple of good trades in Brandon McDonald and Di Rosario. Chris Pontius has come back to full health and fitness, and they're a good team. They're going to test us to our limits. Obviously, we have played midweek. The last couple of weeks now travelling, we're going to have to show a lot of character to get something from the game.
Does Eric force you to keep him in that lineup? I mean, for many reasons, but I mean, nobody heads it in off corner kicks the way that guy does. It seems like he's just.
Well, I mean, as I say, Footy had scored a couple of headers this year and done well. Our centre backs have actually come up with a couple of very, very important goals. As I say, you know, Footy's out for a couple of weeks, so irrespective of, you know, if he's scored a goal tonight, he's going to play this weekend. But as I say, he had a little blip about a month ago, and I think after leaving him out, he's actually shown a lot of character to come back and prove to us that he shouldn't be left out of the team.
Thanks, everyone. Locker room, go.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Good luck.